Buddy and the Boss. Right, welcome back to Buddy and the Boss, guys. And today we're going to do something a little different. Now, as everyone knows that's been following my channel and following me, I've been homeless now for 4 years thanks to the corrupt police in Edmonton, and I was made homeless by the corrupt police without warrant of possession or notice by the owner. Now, I stayed homeless for many years because of my dog, and now that my dog's passed away, Buddy, God bless him, right, we have accommodation. Now, the only way that I could get accommodation coming from the streets, as everyone else is by ringing this place called Link to Home. Now, Link to Home, they organise and pay for a motel room for you until such time that you can find accommodation, suitable accommodation, okay? Now, I want to be clear here for everyone out there that's struggling with housing and trying to get housing and all that sort of stuff. I have here with me the latest agreement that I had to agree to, of course, and it's temporary accommodation between the 11th February 25 and 18th 25, and it's let me just read up top here. So what is your temporary, they're just saying about rent. So my contribution is $135 a week rent for this motel room, okay? It's only a motel room. It doesn't have cooking facilities or anything like that. It does have a microwave, your basic motel, okay? It's just got your basics in it, okay? So there's no cooking, so I'll integrate on that one. Cooking, if you can't cook and you can't save things in the fridge, then eating becomes very expensive because you tend to eat out to eat meat and stuff like that if you can't cook it in the motel room. Otherwise, you're just eating shit food that you throw in a microwave, which then just gets microwaved, doesn't it? With radiation. So, anyway, and it also tastes horrible, so let's not go there. I, on the other hand, have just been given a deep fryer and all that sort of stuff, so I'm pretty lucky. Now, this is the agreement that I'll have to agree to. Now, I'm only going to get to a couple of points tonight because we're going to have an interview tomorrow with someone else as well, and you're going to get someone else's perspective on some problems. Now, this is Housing Pathways, okay? So this is I'll have to be short actually because I don't have much, excuse me for a minute, so much memory. So this is the Housing Pathways. Now, I just told you the date. That's just from the other day. So between the 11th February 25 and 18th February 25. So they booked me in for, the first time they did it for free for 5 nights, and now I contribute $135 a week, but that only keeps me here 7 days. My 7 days is up tomorrow. And part of the criteria is you're going to have a caseworker. Now, a caseworker is supposed to help you get over all these obstacles and stuff like that, and lead you into housing. Now, I'm going to read something down here. I'm just going to read out some of the rules that you have to jump through these hoops. And then I'm going to explain to you how this is not going to work for anybody. I'm going to give you one quick example now. There was a bloke living next door just until yesterday, really nice guy, and you know, it looked like he had his shit together, and he even had an e-bike, so he's come from the streets and he's obviously built up to whatever he's got. And look, yesterday he told me he's leaving today, and I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And he says I couldn't pay them. They wouldn't accept the link for my payment. So I mean, like, there are alternative ways. Maybe he's tried them, or maybe he hasn't. But maybe he doesn't know about the other ways. But who knows? Maybe his caseworkers are not telling him things. But he left today. He left everything behind, and now he's back on the streets because even though he paid rent, they would not accept the link to however he was paying. So there's one problem that you have with this housing thing. Now I'm going to show you something. I've got that's housing pathways, right? So right, so these are my agreed responsibilities. I'll just read them out so you all can get it. I won't read them all out because basically it's just common sense. Keep your accommodation quiet, tidy, you know, all that sort of stuff. But I want to get down to here. This is where the problem lies, and I'll tell you why. Now, when you come into the motel off the streets, generally you have nothing. You don't. Some have phone. Depends on the circumstances, but you're not going to have much. You're going to have a bag of clothes and mainly a phone, right? So when you get accommodation, even though it's temporary, but they tell you we can pay for it as long as you're doing these things, and that's understandable. But I do believe when we have this interview tomorrow with another client that it's a lot harder than you can imagine. Also, the guy next door said that he was looking for like hundreds of accommodation, suitable accommodation. But I found out there is no suitable accommodation. I've been in real estates and all that sort of stuff looking at units to rent. It's way too high. No one on a pension or dole could afford even a one-bedroom unit these days, or you know, anything like that. It's always going to be share accommodation, and there's always problems that arise with that, and we'll get that into that in another video tomorrow. But I just want to touch on this. So it says here, you must provide evidence of your search for alternative accommodation. Example include copies of applications for private rental properties. So see what they say, private rental properties. Property application refusal letters from real estate agents, right, landlords, or other evidence. So I've got to apply, okay, even though I'm on a pension and I'm high up there on the housing department list for housing. Now, if I get this is part of the if I get a house or a unit, okay, which is going to be incredibly high rent unless I'm doing share accommodation. But even if I get share accommodation, which is not permanent, it does not fix the housing crisis, what that's going to do is just set me back, or anyone else who's on the pension doing this, it's just going to set them back forever. You will never get out of this. You will just keep moving from place to place to place to place. You won't get out of it. And basically, I'll tell you the reason why. Because if you get a private rental, share accommodation, or something like that in the community, private rental, basically you're taken off the housing department list. So it would make no sense. Now, these places they want you to apply for are all private rentals. So even if you're in share accommodation and say you get a room to rent in a private accommodation, well, the problem there is you have accommodation. And we all know that share accommodation, whether you're backpacking or homeless or working and just calling through and just, you know, just renting a share house or room, And you've got to understand that the people that you're putting in there on pensions and stuff like that come from the streets, or you know, it's a lot different to the people that are on holidays or travelling or stuff like that. So it creates all sorts of problems, but it also takes you off the Department of Housing list, which stops you from getting permanent housing where you don't have to worry. The problem with all these temporary places is, because look, I'm going to jump back a sec, and we're going to go back into here just quickly because I'm running out of memory here, and I do want to post something tonight because I think it's important. If you were not able to look for alternative accommodation, you can provide evidence such as medical certificates, things from support agencies and all that sort of stuff. You must submit an application, a housing assist within 2 weeks of your temporary accommodation. You can lodge a housing application by calling. So I'm already high up on the housing, so I don't have to do that. And I've been on it for a long time, and all the evidence will be in this old housing pathways. And I do believe I have a medical exemption, and I didn't know it. Huh, interesting. Well, we'll have to use that one. Right, so basically what I'm going to touch on tomorrow, this is just to give you a little sample of what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, I've got an interview with someone else down a couple of rooms down, and he wants to tell his story because he nearly got kicked out the other day. And look, he's got a bad back. He's an old fisherman, and he's a really nice guy. He's got a dog and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to have an interview with him tomorrow, and he's going to tell his story and the problems that he has with the Department of Housing and this Housing Pathways plan that's being put out by the New South Wales government. It's always the New South Wales government that's fucking up and can't get shit straight. Now, upon that, and we are getting to the 13 minutes and it may cut out, so just stay tuned for tomorrow's video. And I also want to put out there now, if you're looking for all these houses, just say it like now, I've been put in a motel room. Say I didn't have my bike, right? And I had no way of getting around. Now I have to look for a certain amount of houses and units and all that. Now I have to go to the real estates, I have to fill out the forms, I have to make an appointment to view the house or property or room or whatever it is that's available. But you're not going to find anything in real estates. So you're going to be going through Facebook and Gumtree and all that sort of places where it's really just not a trusted platform really when you're hooking up in share accommodation, as everyone now watching this has probably been in that situation and knows what I'm talking about. There's always conflicts, you're never there for very long and then you're bouncing around. So it never gives you time to look for work if you wanted to look for work and all that sort of stuff. Because I'm on the other side of the bridge here in this particular motel and I've got to walk over the bridge. It's not far from town, and I can do things in the city, but I can't get to the industrial estate where I need to if I wanted to work. It's a long walk, but I've got the bike, so I'm good to go. But other people, they'll have to walk, and if they got injuries and all that sort of stuff, I mean, like, they're basically just going to be sitting there and saving their fucking pensions. But let's just face it, it's not going to be possible for them to commit to doing all these house searches and stuff like that. It's just not possible. Most of the people coming in these houses don't have computers, don't have this and that. And you can't rely on the manager all the time to do this, even though he does do it. But, you know, they'd have to go into town. You'd need a car or one of them mobile scooters that the people use. And look, if it's raining, well, that's going to stuff you up, isn't it? And then they say here that you've got to be ready to move at any time in case you know, for some reason they want to move you. So you never ever get a chance to settle, to sort of accumulate sort of a comfortable position, so you can get back out into the workforce, or actually properly look for places. And in most cases, in a lot of cases, I'm going to just target Lismore right now, Lismore, New South Wales. They have 6 workers for over 1,000 clients. Now, there's been the manager here has told me that sometimes they don't get the paperwork, it just doesn't go through, or they haven't got it, something's going wrong over there. But 6 people to run Department of Housing for 1,000 clients. It's absolutely unbelievably stupid, and I do believe that this is a can of worms that needs to be opened. And tomorrow I'm going to show you through some more paperwork. I've got a lot of paperwork here, and I've got a lot of evidence and proof, and you guys will all see what's going on. I'm going to give you all, go see the Aussie Punter, okay? It's a YouTube channel. He's really good. He tells you all about real estate and the economy and all that sort of stuff, but he does it in a fun way. He's a cool dude. So that's the Aussie Punter, and just check him out. I'll try and put a link in the messages below, and you can go click on his channel and check him out. But he goes in depth to why there's a housing crisis, and all this sort of stuff, because there is a housing crisis, there is a housing shortage, yet there's lots of houses out there. But I'm going to just do the local cases at the moment, because that's what we're working on, and we just want to show the flaws in this government plan that's not working, and it's only making things worse for you taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer too, by the way. I get tax taken out of my pension, so but it's making it worse for us. They're just giving away money to motels and not solving the solution. I do believe I have the solution, but will the government listen to me? I don't know. We'll see where this channel goes. But we're just done doing the housing at the moment. That's just part of it. So I've had 2 lots of pathways, and also I'm going to show you later on all the letters and stuff that I've got from Fletcher Street Cottage showing how I need support and this, that and the other. And the thing is, in all the 4 years, not one of them got back to me, right? So they don't get back to their clients, Fletcher Street Cottage. I haven't heard from Department of Housing, and I've been on the list for quite some time. And you know, the first lot of pathways plan that I had, it just didn't work out. No one called me back, so you know, and this is why we're still all homeless. And you can't just get a pension and get a place. So think about that. Remember, if I got a place now, it takes me off the housing list, and then it just puts me in all sorts of, I'll be living in different places every 3 months, which means I'd have to move all my shit. So you can't accumulate anything, you have to live out of a bag. The shit's crazy. I'm going to post this now, just to put it out there. And look, here's a property guide I got today. I obviously got the application, which I'm going to keep on file, and these are land and stuff and houses for rent, so way too expensive. The cheapest one in there was $400 fucking for a 1 bedroom, and on a pension, it's impossible, because you've got electricity as well, you've got to buy food, and if you need medication or that, you are absolutely screwed. And just remember, the landlords can get rid of that house in 6 months. They could sell it, they could want to rent it to someone else, they might want to put the rent up, and you're fucked. So every 6 months you're going to be fucked. So I dare say, Department of Housing, pull your fucking finger out and think about things, right, and start using your fucking brains and I'm talking about the fucking Minister of Housing, alright? You need to pull your fucking head out of your fucking ass, and Albanese's ass, because he's a cockhead, right? He's not going to be in next election, he's out, right? Donald Trump's in America, and we need to follow suit with that for the people, because your motherfuckers are just fucking up the whole system, you fucking housing fucking pricks and government fucking entities, all of you. Right? Anyway, that was going to get personal. But tomorrow we'll do that video, and tonight, that's just an example. This is Buddy and the Boss. I'm the boss, and out.